would like to hear today a little bit more about what do you think is going to happen with NFTs Marketplace as, regulation hopefully develops.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for the kind words as well. You've outed me as a crypto maximalist. I really do love the space. It's I didn't think the internet would happen twice for me. I thought the internet was the biggest thing that would happen in my lifetime, and crypto is bigger, and it's the internet again. So I've really been having a lot of fun with it, and it's interesting because the legal issues are much more difficult with crypto than they were with the internet. One way to think about it is that the internet was really just about communication, whether that be commerce or visual communication or verbal communication or written communication. Anything you could do with communication was done on the internet. But the guns didn't come out. Not that many new laws had to be created. There were new laws created and new ways of handling things. But really, it was just the media business that was, and also the commerce business that was disrupted and sort of changed. With crypto, it's a lot of other industries, and it's a lot more dangerous. So it's dangerous in that it's something that really affects the concept of sovereignty, of nation state sovereignty. So that's when the guns come out. So it's very interesting what's happening in the space. It's funny that you would say NFT NYC was the most important conference of the year. Just in the run up to it, it seemed, I just couldn't believe it, because the conference was so small 2 years ago and last year, and so enormous this year. Even in the run up to it, you knew it was going to be huge, and it was like kind of a comeback for the crypto industry, but it was also a comeback for New York. I mean, it really lit up the city and made it a fun place to visit again. The parties were unbelievable. So many interesting things happened. The Beeple drop happened at Terminal 5, which is a big rock music venue. People were lighting artwork on fire and then NFTing it, and then they lit the whole stage on fire. The Wu-Tang Clan Shaolin album was purchased by a DAO of people, and there was a kind of a secret listening party of the album in Brooklyn. So many things happened at the conference. A lot of people got COVID, me too, unfortunately. But that was one of the strange parts about it, is it was literally just like the conferences of yore. Nobody was wearing a mask. The venues were huge. The number of people in the venues was unbelievable. Seems like everybody went to New York for the event. What I wanted to talk about is, what does this mean for crypto? What does it mean for NFTs? So NFTs, if you were to look at NFTs 4 years ago, very few people even understood what they could be used for 4 years ago. And now you see that the NFT, in many people's minds, sidesteps the securities law issues that became so prevalent during crypto. I'm throwing that out there. It's not really true. A lot of lawyers would say that I'm wrong about that, but that is the way people are behaving. They're sort of saying, okay, this is a digital collectible, not a security, so I can do whatever I want. And so a lot of new companies are launching. A lot of interesting new applications for NFTs are happening. Everything from CryptoPunks and CryptoKitties to the drop of Michael Jordan making a slam dunk in the 1984 Olympics, like a one-of-a-kind, never seen before piece of art. That's a real piece of art that's been NFT'd. photo by Walter Yost, one of the biggest sports photographers in the world. So it's really a broad range of things that are being traded. And the trading, this was the other interesting thing that I was sort of able to witness at the event, that you sort of went into this event thinking that NFTs were traded by gamers, but guess who else trades them? Crypto traders immediately moved over to NFTs, and they were all there. The big whales were there. The people who are known to be good crypto traders were all there. They've all just sort of moved over to this space. And the thinking, again, is the securities laws don't apply. We can do whatever we want. Not true. The crypto law, the securities laws still apply. The securities laws are still a pretty egregious mismatch to the crypto technology. So the minute you start to apply a securities law analysis to it, for example, let's say you were doing an NFT drop and you wanted to just register it as a security. The minute you go down that road, it's either not a security under the Howey's test, or it's a security and you have to register. Okay, so what does it look like if you were to register your NFT as a security? It gets pretty strange. The law really was not designed for this, and it's a very obvious mismatch the minute you start asking those questions. But the fact of the matter is that many of these NFTs really do fail the Howey test and really could be seen as securities. The SEC doesn't seem to be chasing any of the NFT companies or any of the NFT drops, but that's in part because not that much fraud has happened yet. One of the things that lights the SEC up and makes them pay attention is when there's fraud. There has been fraud. If any of you were aware of the evolved ape sort of heist, I guess I'll call it, it was very recent. It was on the beginning of October, so only about a month ago. A person by the name of Evil Ape launched this NFT release of evolved apes. People bought in, and all of the money through the trading ended up in a single Ethereum wallet, and then suddenly disappeared. So somebody, was able to walk away with a lot of money. When that starts happening regularly, the SEC is going to take notice, as are the other regulators. I just think it's very, very early. You are not, everyone just sort of, there was no sort of opinion letter process that there was with ICOs. Everyone just said, oh yeah, it's a digital collectible, therefore I don't need a securities analysis. So it's going to be a problem. And it's hard to say, when are they going to take a look? What will make them take a look? Usually what makes them take a look is class action lawsuits. The SEC has a lot of resources, but they are limited in their resources. So they kind of, sometimes they'll, with a new market like this, they'll wait for the class action litigators to go after some of these offers. And just to be really clear, the class action litigator, like if you think, oh, I'm safe because I am not trying to defraud anyone. I'm just trying to launch an NFT and get trading going, and it's going to go great. The class action litigators will find that one person who bought your NFT who's mad, and that one NFT release that looks very much like a security, and it's just a paycheck for them. They don't really think, it's really a shyster lawyer game. They don't think of it in a moral way. They just think, yeah, I'm going to make a couple $100,000. Let's go for it. And so they'll launch a class action lawsuit, and they'll do all the work that the SEC otherwise would have had to do, all the fact-finding work. So it's great for the SEC. They just sit back and watch these class actions happen until they see one that they really like. And then all of the hard shovel work and spade work has already been done. by the class action litigators. And then the SEC just sort of tacks on top of that. So I think that's what we will start to see at some point with NFT issues. Now, there are also NFTs issued that are not securities, that no one would be able to argue run afoul of the Howey test. So it's not like every single NFT issue has to worry about the securities law issues. It is that you should analyze your NFT issue under the securities laws to sort of see what aspects of it will start failing the Howey test. The first two parts of the Howey test kind of apply to all startup companies, so you can sort of discount those. Those are already agreed to. The one to really worry about is whether you've created a market and whether you can personally manipulate the market somehow. So that's why you see a lot of DAOs forming. And that to me is an exciting new legal trend, is the DAO. It's very interesting. It flies in the face of corporate law, of corporate organization. If you take a 30,000 foot view, all corporations are essentially a military command and control structure. There's a board, there's an executive management team, and there's shareholders. And the executive management team has one set of duties that they can't violate. The board has another set of duties that they can't violate. Okay, now brush all of that off the table, and now insert a DAO. A DAO is a whole bunch of people, and all they have is a vote. And the idea is that nobody's in control of the DAO. The DAO is controlled by how those people vote. So it's very interesting because it means that the whole idea of the corporate command and control structure is out the window, which means a lot of corporate law is out the window. So these are new. This is a totally new concept in the last, less than 10 years. And the law surrounding it is very undeveloped. And that's the problem with all of crypto, and in particular with NFTs. The law remains undeveloped, and there's not really a clear basis. So maybe you can hang your hat on that and say, because there's not a clear basis, I'm going to do what I want to do to make money with these NFTs, and I'll cross that bridge when it comes. I can't recommend that you do that as a lawyer, but it's a commercial decision. It's certainly true that a lot of people are making money on NFTs, and that there's a very good argument that these are pieces of art and digital collectibles that people are trading.
Yeah, that's really very extensive summary of what's going on in this marketplace. Thank you so much, Steve. We really appreciate that sort of point of view that's not completely dystopian at this point, but
right.
Some hope.
Right. Yeah, there is hope. I guess I wanted to say one more thing, and that's, everyone seems to be clamoring for good rules. What are the rules? Don't tell me I can't do anything. Tell me what to do it right. I want to abide by the law. I want to get in this business, and I don't want to do anything illegal or sketchy. I just want to run an honest business. Give me the rules. The rules are very unclear. And then you have to ask yourself, who makes the rules? So as it is now, we're relying on the SEC to make the rules. And the SEC is an executive branch organization, which means it can't make the rules. It can only enforce the rules that exist. So the only way that the SEC has to make rules are to bring claims against people in court and get precedents. So that's really Congress's failure. Congress should make the rules. That's how our system of government works. Congress makes the rules, the SEC enforces the rules. Now ask yourself, do you want Congress to make rules in this industry? Or do certain aspects of how things happen in Congress cause you to fear that prospect? So one thing to consider is self-regulation. Not that many people in crypto have talked about it at length, but it's something I think that we should talk about. Self-regulating the crypto industry, self-regulating the NFT industry. In other words, regulate it by the people, by and for the people who understand it. And I think it's not a bad route. And it's certainly not unprecedented in the securities industry. We have a number of self-regulating organizations. The legal industry is self-regulated. And by the way, it doesn't make it easier or more lax. I mean, in the legal industry, believe me, if you go astray of the rules of ethics in the legal industry, you get tarred and feathered and kicked out. The other lawyers are happy to take you down. And it's the same way with FASB and with the other self-regulating things. So I'm not suggesting anything that is going to make the rule set be more lax. It's just going to make the rule set be better informed.